Hey, it's Tuxedo Mark. It's 3:55 p.m. on Sunday, February 13th, 2022, and welcome to another review of Saved by the Bell Revival series. This is Season 1, Episode 9, All in the Hall. And in this episode, first of all, the title reference is to All in the Mall, an episode from the original series that took place at the Palisades Mall. But yeah, other than that, the episodes have nothing in common. Okay, so Douglas High is being reopened. So after some pressure from Jesse, Principal Todman decides to go over and check things out and see if the school's going to be good enough for their kids. Hey, Lukey boy, thanks for joining me. And Devontae decides to go along with him, even though he has class, but Principal Todman allows it. So they're going to go and check out Douglas High. Aisha tries to work with Slater and find a way to get to stay because, like, Daisy told her to try and fight for it. So Slater and Aisha find like a loophole where if she joins like the golf team or something, she gets to stay because of some grant or scholarship. I don't remember what it was. Hey, Heavy Eyes. Hey, Donald. Thanks for joining me. So there's that. But then Daisy is having worse luck. She, Mac, and Lexi have to go and submit some form to start up some legal process to do something or other. They have to submit it by 3 p.m. And there's a huge line at the place. So Lexi starts trying to Lexi and Mac try to help her cut in line. And they make it to the front of the line with like a minute to spare. But because the forms were not in the guy's hand by 3 p.m., he refuses to help them. And yes, there is a sign by the window that says that the forms must be in hand by 3 p.m. It seems to be the same guy from the copier place that Daisy visited in the first episode. In fact, she calls him out on it, but he has a slightly different name and he denies it's him. But eventually, yeah, it's pretty much confirmed that it is him. So that was a waste of time. Meanwhile, Jamie sets up this big song and dance number at the Max, and he proposes to Aisha because he figures if they get married, she'll live with him and she can attend Bayside. But she doesn't want him or anyone else making decisions for her, so she turns it down. And that's when she and Slater get together and figure out a way for her to stay here. And so then Todman finds out that from the principal at Douglas, I don't know if it's the same guy from the first episode or not, but that things aren't as good as they appear. It's like donors try to throw some quick money at Douglas to get a photo op basically and help themselves out, and then they just never follow through on any promises. So Todman confronts the parent that had set this whole thing in motion, and he realizes he's kind of probably out of a job because of this, because he calls her names and he yells at her. But Devontae's proud of him. So, yeah. Now, at the end, Jamie and Aisha break up. So that's kind of sad. And what else happens? Yeah, so I mean, Douglas High looks like it looks good, but apparently, just because they threw some money at it temporarily doesn't mean that Douglas High will remain good. But apparently, there's nothing that they can do about it right now. So yeah, so there's one episode left in this season, and we'll see how it wraps up. Now, considering there's a second season, I'm guessing that they get to stay at Bayside, but yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. Oh, there was this funny part where Daisy was trying to get expelled because she was just giving up hope. So she was going to smoke a joint or a doobie actually in Principal Tarman's office, even though he was out of school at the moment, and there's no way that he would find out. But it's funny. She mentions that there's like a pop up dispensary in the parking lot of the Max, and that's where she got it. Um, but yeah, so it's like Mac and Lexi are sad that the Douglas kids might be leaving. They're not even enjoying the stuff that they have. They're not enjoying it through people's misfortune because they change. I think Lexi more so than Mac, honestly. But yeah, at the end they have like a group hug in the office. So, but we'll see what happens in the season finale. But I'm betting that they get to stay at Bayside. Uh, yeah, that's about it for this episode. Um, one more thing. When Principal Todman meets the Douglas principal, apparently they had met at Principal Con back in Omaha. I don't know which year. Yeah, there's a Principal Con, and they do the principal handshake, which is just Mr. Belding's old catchphrase. Hey, hey, hey! What is going on here? So yeah, that was kind of funny. Uh oh, speaking of Belding, when Principal Todman was trying to get the old gang to remember him in the previous episode, Zach, being typically clueless, was like, "Were you Belding?" Yeah. So, but no, Mr. Belding has not shown up in this series so far, anyway. And yeah, that's about it for this episode. And now I'm going to watch the season finale and see what happens. Anyway, it's 4:03 p.m. and thanks for joining me. And that's it.